Salmon has long been celebrated as a nutritional powerhouse, but recent studies have shed light on some critical health concerns associated with its consumption. Join us as we explore various risks of eating salmon and why you should consider removing it from your diet. We'll also discuss ways to reduce the risks associated with consuming salmon. Let's start by delving into one of the most concerning aspects of salmon consumption: mercury contamination. While salmon is prized for its omega-3 fatty acids, it can also harbor mercury, a heavy metal with detrimental effects on human health, particularly for vulnerable populations such as pregnant women and children. Mercury enters the ocean through industrial pollution and accumulates in fish, such as salmon. Research published in the Environmental Health Perspectives journal has highlighted the risks associated with mercury exposure from consuming salmon. High levels of mercury can impair neurological development in fetuses and young children, leading to cognitive and developmental delays. Moreover, chronic mercury exposure in adults can affect the nervous system, cardiovascular health, kidney function, and also increase the risk of cardiovascular disease and hypertension. Given these risks, it's essential for individuals, especially pregnant women and young children, to be cautious about their salmon consumption and opt for low-mercury alternatives such as haddock, pollock, and catfish. Such alternative fish are lower in mercury compared to salmon because they are smaller in size, have shorter lifespans, and are lower on the food chain. Mercury contamination poses significant health risks, particularly for vulnerable populations such as pregnant women, nursing mothers, and young children. Mercury exposure can impair neurological development in fetuses and young children, leading to cognitive and developmental delays. Additionally, chronic mercury exposure in adults can affect the nervous system, cardiovascular health, and kidney function, increasing the risk of cardiovascular disease and hypertension. By limiting consumption of high mercury fish like salmon and opting for lower mercury alternatives, individuals can reduce their exposure to this toxic heavy metal and protect their health. Besides mercury, salmon may contain polychlorinated biphenyls, or PCBs, and dioxins, two toxic chemicals that pose significant health risks. PCBs and dioxins come from various sources, such as industrial processes, pollution, and environmental contamination. Industrial activities such as manufacturing, waste incineration, and pesticide use can release these chemicals into the air, water, and soil. PCBs and dioxins are pollutants that can accumulate in the fatty tissues of fish, including salmon, and adversely affect the health of those who consume salmon. Studies have shown that farmed salmon may contain higher levels of PCBs and dioxins than wild-caught salmon. This is due to the use of fish meal and fish oil in salmon feed, or the food given to farmed salmon, which may introduce contaminants into their flesh. In humans, PCBs and dioxins are known to disrupt our endocrine system, impair reproductive health, and increase the risk of cancer. Consumers should be aware of the potential risks associated with PCB and dioxin exposure from salmon consumption, especially if consuming farmed varieties regularly. Choosing wild-caught salmon from less contaminated waters or alternative sources of omega-3 fatty acids can help mitigate these risks and promote overall health and well-being. Antibiotic use in salmon farming has raised concerns about developing antibiotic-resistant bacteria, posing a significant threat to public health. Salmon farms often rely on antibiotics to prevent and treat bacterial infections in densely populated fish populations, contributing to the emergence of antibiotic-resistant strains. Research published in Environmental Science and Technology Letters has highlighted the presence of antibiotic-resistant bacteria in farmed salmon and its potential implications for human health. The overuse of antibiotics in aquaculture can lead to the proliferation of antibiotic-resistant bacteria, which can spread to humans through the consumption of contaminated salmon. Potential risks of such antibiotic-resistant bacteria include increased susceptibility to infections. Exposure to antibiotic-resistant bacteria from contaminated salmon can increase the likelihood of developing difficult-to-manage infections. These infections may require more aggressive treatments or prolonged hospital stays, leading to complications and poorer health outcomes. Consumers should be mindful of the antibiotic practices used in salmon farming and consider the broader implications for antibiotic resistance. Opting to consume salmon from facilities that utilize sustainable farming practices and responsible antibiotic use can help address these concerns and promote the long-term health of both humans and the environment. Another potential health risk associated with salmon consumption is the risk of parasitic infections such as tapeworms. These parasites can infect humans who consume raw or undercooked salmon. Salmon is often consumed raw or undercooked, as many people enjoy salmon in its raw form, such as in sushi or sashimi, while others may inadvertently undercook salmon fillets or steaks, leading to potential exposure to parasites. Tapeworms are parasites that can infect salmon and other fish and can cause a condition in humans called diphyllobothriasis. Diphyllobothriasis occurs when individuals consume raw or undercooked fish contaminated with Diphyllobothrium larvae. The larvae may then develop into adult tapeworms in the human intestines. Symptoms of diphyllobothriasis may include abdominal discomfort, diarrhea, weight loss, and vitamin B12 deficiency. Proper handling, cooking, and freezing techniques can help reduce the risk of parasitic infections and ensure the safety of salmon consumption. Consumers should exercise caution when consuming raw or undercooked salmon and consider cooking fish at an appropriate temperature to kill potential parasites. Additionally, freezing salmon below -20 degrees Celsius or -4 degrees Fahrenheit for a specified period can help eliminate parasites and ensure food safety. Salmon and other fish should be frozen for a duration of at least 7 days to effectively kill parasites. Freezing at this temperature for the specified period helps ensure that the fish is safe for consumption by eliminating any potential parasites present in the flesh. Despite its nutritional benefits, salmon can be high in sodium due to various factors, including the processing methods used, such as smoking, curing, or adding salt during preparation. For example, smoked salmon is typically brined or cured with salt, which significantly increases its sodium content. Additionally, certain types of canned or processed salmon may contain added salt as a preservative or flavor enhancer. The amount of sodium in salmon can vary significantly based on the specific product and how it's prepared. For instance, a serving of smoked salmon can contain up to 500 milligrams of sodium or more per ounce due to the curing or brining process. On the other hand, fresh salmon typically contains less sodium, particularly if it's prepared without added salt. When considering sodium content in salmon, it's crucial to pay attention to serving sizes. For example, an average serving of smoked salmon, often consumed as an appetizer or in sandwiches, can range from 1 to 2 ounces. This means that just a few slices of smoked salmon could contribute to a significant amount of sodium in your diet. For example, 2 ounces of smoked salmon may contain up to 1,000 milligrams of sodium. Conversely, a serving of fresh salmon, which is commonly around 3 ounces, typically contains less sodium per serving compared to smoked or processed varieties. While the exact sodium content will vary based on factors such as the preparation method and added seasonings, fresh salmon generally contains around 50 milligrams of sodium per 3-ounce serving. Given the potential variation in sodium content, it's essential to read nutrition labels carefully and be mindful of portion sizes when consuming salmon, especially if you're watching your sodium intake. Opting for fresh salmon and preparing it with minimal added salt or choosing lower sodium varieties of smoked or canned salmon can help you manage your sodium intake more effectively. Excessive sodium intake can have detrimental effects on health and is linked to increased risk of high blood pressure, heart disease, stroke, and other cardiovascular conditions. The recommended daily intake of sodium for most adults is around 2,300 milligrams per day, with an ideal limit of 1,500 milligrams per day for individuals with certain health conditions or risk factors. Therefore, consuming servings of salmon high in sodium can contribute to exceeding those recommended limits, potentially exacerbating cardiovascular health risks. Studies published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition have highlighted the role of dietary sodium in hypertension and cardiovascular health. Consuming certain salmon products might contribute to sodium overload and exacerbate hypertension in susceptible individuals. Health-conscious consumers should be mindful of the sodium content in processed salmon products and opt for fresh or minimally processed varieties to reduce their sodium intake and support heart health. While salmon is a nutritious source of protein, it can trigger allergic reactions and sensitivities in certain individuals. While such allergies are rare, they can elicit symptoms ranging from minor itching and hives to severe anaphylaxis, a potentially life-threatening allergic response characterized by a rapid onset of symptoms including difficulty breathing, a drop in blood pressure, and even loss of consciousness. Research published in the Journal of Allergy and Clinical Immunology has documented cases of salmon allergies and highlighted the importance of allergen avoidance in susceptible individuals. Individuals with a history of seafood allergies or sensitivities should exercise caution when consuming salmon and seek medical advice if they experience any adverse reactions. Understanding the potential for allergic reactions to salmon proteins can help individuals make informed dietary choices and prevent serious health consequences of salmon consumption. While salmon is often hailed as a heart-healthy food due to its omega-3 fatty acid content, it's essential to consider its cholesterol content as well. Despite the numerous health benefits associated with omega-3 fatty acids, salmon also contains cholesterol, which could have implications for cardiovascular health. Recent studies have highlighted the potential impact of dietary cholesterol on blood cholesterol levels and cardiovascular risk. Although dietary cholesterol may not affect everyone the same way, individuals with certain genetic predispositions or existing heart conditions may be more susceptible to its effects. Salmon contains approximately 56 milligrams of cholesterol per 3-ounce serving, which is about 19% of the recommended daily intake of cholesterol for an average adult. While this amount may seem modest compared to other animal products like red meat, poultry, and eggs, it's still worth considering, especially for those watching their cholesterol intake. Consuming high levels of cholesterol from sources like salmon could lead to elevated blood cholesterol levels, particularly LDL cholesterol, commonly known as bad cholesterol. High LDL cholesterol levels are a significant risk factor for heart disease, as they can contribute to the buildup of plaque in the arteries, leading to atherosclerosis and an increased risk of heart attacks and strokes. It's essential for individuals to be mindful of their overall dietary cholesterol intake, including sources like salmon, particularly if they have existing cardiovascular issues or a family history of heart disease. While the omega-3 fatty acids in salmon do offer cardiovascular benefits, moderation is key to maintaining a heart-healthy diet. Moderation involves consuming salmon or other high-cholesterol foods in reasonable portions as well as a limited number of times per week as part of a varied and balanced diet. By incorporating a variety of foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids such as flax seeds, chia seeds, walnuts, and certain vegetable oils, individuals can reap the benefits of these essential fats without relying solely on salmon. Additionally, adopting a balanced diet that includes plenty of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins can help support overall heart health while minimizing the potential risks associated with excessive cholesterol consumption from salmon and other animal products. Plant-based sources of omega-3 fatty acids like flax seeds, chia seeds, walnuts, and certain vegetable oils typically do not contain cholesterol. They offer heart-healthy fats without the added cholesterol found in animal products like salmon. Now that you know the critical health risks of salmon consumption, we'd like to hear from you. Are you concerned about the potential health implications of eating salmon? Have you experienced any adverse effects from consuming salmon? Or do you have questions about its safety? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. If you found this video informative, like, subscribe, and share it with others. Together, we can make informed choices for our health and the health of our planet.